Hope you guys are in there showing up for this live. Yeah, this is a, I told you this weekend was a crazy busy weekend that I would pop in here as soon as I could, as soon as I got a chance, because this project that's been sitting on my desk here on my bench is top of mind. I'm noodling this thing out constantly. The chandelier's here. Of course, I did not give myself enough time to finish preparing before this live went live. So I'm looking at my watch going, I'm over there trying to solder wires together and work. And so I had to hurriedly haul things over here. Alan, good to see you. I had to carry, welcome. I had to carry my, no pun intended, carry, I didn't mean that, but I had to carry my project back over here to the table. We're gonna try to finish it here. This may not be as exciting as I'd hoped, but those of you who are following this project and are joining in for the lives, you kind of know where we are on this. I also posted a teaser yesterday, spent some time at a friend's house with some friends, a couple that we're really good close friends with, and did some junking yesterday and found some pieces. I found a piece actually for this particular project that we're working on. Let's see who's joining us. Lucy Blue, hello, welcome. And those of you that are new, you may not know who this is. We've got about 83 people here. Usually most people who are dropping into these lives they're not my followers. You don't know who I am and what I do. I go by Artful Roger here on TikTok, and currently working on a project, a miniatures project, that is an old clock cabinet. This is it laying down right now. We'll look at it. I can't flip it yet because we're doing some wiring right now. We're putting a chandelier in. Right when I was preparing to get this live started, I'm over there in my other area where my soldering iron is and all that stuff so I could put the wires together. I realized that one of the light bulbs had fallen out of the chandelier. We're talking about a chandelier that's so tiny, and they're replaceable bulbs. So I'm like, I'll never find that light bulb. It's a grain of sand, but I swear to you, by the grace of everything good, there it is. You can see it. I found it. That is this itty bitty light bulb that just happened to be in the right place. I've carried that chandelier all over the place for the last day or so, and lucky me, I have the light bulb. So we talked about in the live before. Hey, Groovy. Yep, Flannel Dad is here. So we talked a little bit in one of my other lives about serendipity and what it means, you know, how things kind of seem to find me during these projects. I kind of set an intention. I do set an intention, actually, to complete this, and I have in my mind how it's going to look. It's usually like it's already finished in my head before I get here. But things find me. So yesterday out junking, I'm just looking in one of those glass cabinets. Lori, I see your note. I hope you're on the live. I hope you've joined. Mary, there you are. So yes, good to have you here. Glad you're joined. And Lori will be in here probably in just a moment because I saw that she mentioned it. But yeah, I'm glad you guys can join impromptu like this. The live is still scheduled for Tuesday night, but you know, because I had time, I'm in here. But anyway, back to serendipity. Things find me. They truly do. And yesterday on the little teaser video that I posted, I did I scanned across that little cabinet, those two little cabinets, so you guys could look at it and see if you could figure out what the piece was that I found. There 3 or 4 people that put comments in, they actually guessed, and they were right. So you did spot it. And I saw others that picked out some things that I did not notice, but the thing about it is we're working with scale. So we're trying to find something. And again, if you haven't seen this is the back of this creation. There's the fireplace. So when we talk about scale, we're talking about something that's not too big. Like, for instance, this table is entirely too large for that fireplace, if you see what I'm doing here. So you want to find something that's more to scale. So when I'm looking for, here's another table. Kind of see how that looks. A little bit better scale-wise. So when I'm looking for these little trinkets and things like that, I'm looking for something that's to scale, and I did find something. So without further ado, no, it was not the Pack of Salems, if that's what MN is saying. Someone said that it was the Pack of Salems. Yeah, I would have done this Pack of Salems, but they were just out of scale. So that's the only reason we don't have a pack of cigarettes in here. But let me see. Okay, here it is. Drum roll. No drum roll. For those of you who guessed, this is a little Bisque doll from Germany. It is older than who knows what. You can see most of the color is gone from it. You can see the painting on there, a lot of it. I dry brush cleaned it because I was afraid if I use anything wet on it or anything like that, it might remove all of the color and then it's just this white ghost. But what I love about this thing is it's the perfect scale. I love that she's in this super little cute pose, like a little toddler would do. She's looking down. She's got a bow in her hair. She almost looks, she looks a little bit like a specter, like a ghost. And I kind of like that, because I think when you have something like this, it's not so literal and it doesn't have a completely painted face and it's completely dressed. This leaves room for our minds to fill it in. This could be a ghost of ourselves, you know, as children. This particular cloche that we're working on is going to be about her. She is the central point. She is going to be the thing that the viewer is going to relate with this particular piece. I went ahead and did a mock-up. I'm going to show this to you what it looks like. We got home late last night, and I was tired, and had a really, really good time with our friends. And I still came down here because I could not wait. I had to go dry brush clean this thing that I found yesterday. It was $5, and I had to go ahead and do a mock-up. So I had this thing turned up right so I could put it together. But I made this little gift. So you see it's a little, we're going to talk about gift making in just a moment, but this little gift I made, here's the bow for it, which is an earring. I'm just going to lay it up there because it's not hot glued on, because I don't know if the red works. But anyway, that's what I did. And then I put her here like this. So you can see how she's just looking at her little gift. So that's how I'm going to have her in the vignette. She is going to be looking at a gift of some kind. It may not be this gift, but it's going to be her. Look at how her hands are right there in her little, the way she's holding her hands, the way she's looking at it. I think that the little bisque doll from who knows how many decades old this thing is, how in the world it survived, I do not know. How it wasn't lost in a garbage can or lost in the yard or anything. She, I call it a she, is just bisque, but it's, to me, it's a little girl. It has found itself. It's going to be in my creation, and I call it my creation because it's my upcycled stuff from everywhere that came together. She's going to live in there for, hopefully, for many, many years to come. Long after I'm gone, hopefully this piece, somebody has it and they don't know the story, and this live will actually disappear into time as well. But anyway, I think that's super cute. I hope you guys like it. So she's perfectly scaled to the gift sizes of everything else in here, right? I think you guys agree. I see some hearts going up. If you're new to lives like this, if you tap the screen with your finger, it just sends up hearts. And if you do that, we're at 2.2 on the likes. It just, what it does is push the live out a little bit more. And you know, I'm not begging for likes. I'm just telling you that that's something you could do to be helpful. But if you don't want to be helpful, I'm totally fine with that too. We're all good. I'm just here having a good time. So that's how it works. I see the hearts going up. So there's the gift. This is what I found yesterday, guys. This is called serendipity. If you're doing this, this is what I said the other day. I caution you, if you decide to work on miniatures, I caution you from going to Michael's or going to Hobby Lobby and buying things made of resin. You can do it. It's pretty easy, but that's low-hanging fruit. I would tell you, set your intention, have in your mind what you want to create. Go to antique malls. Go to Goodwill. You never know. Sometimes you'll find these in a bag of bottom of an old plastic bag or something at a thrift store. Let these things find you, because they are what makes your piece special. And that's what I mean by upcycling. It's taking forgotten stuff like this clock cabinet or clock case and turning it into something new, okay? Let me put the stuff down. Oh, the other thing I want to show you. This little kitten. This is porcelain. This kitten was in one of my other cloches that you see right here behind me. I took the kitten out. You can see I pulled the kitten right off the paper. But this kitten belongs with this little girl. So I'm moving this porcelain kitten into this, and I'm going to put something else over there because I think the kitten also had a date with destiny. And I found this too in a thrift store. I mean, I'm sorry, in an antique mall in a glass case. It was $2. Again, who is going to buy this kind of stuff? You know, I mean, you might buy it and put it on a shelf, but it's going to be living inside this little scene. And we're going to get to that scene right now. 70 people here. Thank you. We're at 4.5. So you guys are tapping the screen, which is awesome. All right, let's talk about the chandelier, which is what we've all been waiting to see. And I've already done some of my wiring, and see if you guys can see that. You see how I've got the ceiling piece in there. Let me go ahead and put a little hot glue on my soldering. I use hot glue on these 12-volt systems as an insulator because no major current is going through. And all I'm doing is touching, here's a wire. I've already soldered my wires together right here. I'm looking at my big screen, by the way, so I can see what I'm showing you guys. But you can see the wires are already soldered. And what I do with my glue gun, this is a low-temp glue gun, and I'm just going to put some glue on those ends just to kind of create insulation to keep them from touching together. Because if they touch together, the lights are going to go out. So I just use this as insulation. And these are going to be inside the ceiling. So I'm just giving those a little touch here. Heart by hearts. Yes, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And thank you, Schwartz. And I say it's BS. BS Schwartz. No, it's B Schwartz. I got you. I apologize. So no first names. I know that little B is a Barb. I knew that because I asked. Miss Gratitude. Oh, we got another Barb. So yeah. All right. Welcome. Linda, welcome back. It's good to see you. All right. Oh, Chipper, there you are. I'm glad you joined. You said you would, and you promised. Okay, so that's dry. I think we're fine here. Let me plug in my transformer just to make sure. Yes, we've got lights. I'm going to show you now. And remember, one of the light bulbs fell out, so I got to put it back in. But I'm going to show you just like this, kind of how it's going to look. So there's the chandelier. And the one that's out is because the light bulb is out of it. I got to put it back in. So anyhow, that's what I did with the ceiling. I want to thank Henry. I don't think Henry's on this live. Probably didn't get enough notice. But Henry, I think, is the one that suggested ceiling tiles, or someone else in the last live. I had this scrapbook paper, and I think it looks a lot like ceiling tile, and it's not reflective. I think it's got a nice look to it. And if you do happen to look up into the top of this room once it's built, you'll at least see some sort of a design, and it's not overwhelming and not, I don't think this is tacky. So yes, thank you, Barb. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to make sure all my connections are good. So bear with me just a minute. This is the part where I have to look down. It's like putting a puzzle together. Putting my wires into the ceiling. I think what I'm going to do here is something a little different. We're going to do this. All right, I want you guys to see what this looks like. All right. Glue gun off of there. So you get the idea. And the little LEDs flickering in the background are for the fireplace. So when I stick the fireplace back in there, the fireplace will be lit up. But lit up. I'm really, really trying to do a live and think about what I'm doing at the same time. So there's the ceiling. You can see what that looks like. This little chandelier, I was able to make a canopy for it, a ceiling canopy. Isn't that the cutest thing? So it looks like it's on a real junction box. So just really cool. Yeah. So I think it's great. It matches really well with the sconce, which is on this side. There's the sconce. So they kind of go together. So it's a great look. So yeah, I'm loving it too. So let me glue the ceiling into place. And that requires me to not be paying attention to you guys for just a minute. It's not all about you. You have to work so fast with glue. All right, I'm going to hold that in there just for a second. Thank you, Mary Dawn. I appreciate that. Strawberry Girl, welcome back. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are interested in these things. Yeah, they're super fun. And thank you for sending up the hearts, because we're at 6.8, 9.7 now. So this really helps push this out so that I'm not talking to a room of 20. But even if it was just us in here, we're good. You're back. Ms. Andrews, as I call you, because I always massacre your name, I think. All right. So the thumbnails help me identify kind of what you guys look like. But even if you look at my thumbnail, it doesn't exactly look like me. So let's see here. Let me put these back down in here. What I'm doing right now is putting the wires into, I created a ceiling. I created a space above the chandelier so that my wires can go in. The reason I try to tuck my wires and stuff in there and not glue them into place is because if ever I have a problem or need to change the chandelier, it'll be easy for me to pull the wiring out and make that change. All right, so let me push this back down in there again. My wiring is being a little irritating. Get in there. All righty, I think that's good. All righty, So we got my wires tucked in. I'm going to put the back on here with the fireplace so we can see it. All right, I'm seeing as fast. There you go. So I think it looks pretty good. I got to put that light bulb back in there. But yeah, it's coming together. So we're starting to get a sense of a space in there in a room. I think that wood floor is killing it. And those, again, are just craft sticks, like coffee stirrers, I think is what they probably really are. They're nothing. You get a bag of them at Michael's for zilch. And that's shoe polish I use to create the stain. And that's all it is, just brown shoe polish, and I buffed it with the shoe shine brush. So that's it. Chipper, thank you. Chipper, you're the professional tapper. Yeah, Jennifer, thank you for that. Yeah, I think this is going to look good. The little girl that I have, you know, she's going to be standing in there as well. I've got a couple of chairs that'll go in there also. I'm going to unplug my transformer for a second. I'm going to take the back off. And this back that I keep taking off and putting on, this is going to be permanently removable, and there is going to be not glass, but there will be some poly here that'll look like glass, and this will not be, you know, where I'll be sticking my fingers through there. So this will have that. There will be molding around this. I am thinking about doing greenery because this is a Christmas theme. So I'm thinking of something like this, maybe around the window. What do you guys think of that? Oh, you did? So I'm sorry if I'm asking. I'm going to say Ilda. I'm guessing that, and I'm saying that's right. So thank you, Heart by Hearts. So Ilda, you guessed it was the little girl. You're one of the people who guessed correctly. You did. Okay, good. Congratulations. Yeah, several people called it out you must have stopped the video, and then, you know, made it larger so you could actually read the tag, because someone said it's a German bisque doll. I'm like, well, how did they know it was bisque? You know, it could have been porcelain. Then I realized they read the tag. So what do you think of this? You like the idea of the greenery around it? See, the Christmas tree is going to be in front of it. And I already told you guys, don't judge this tree. This tree is a work in progress. But there's the tree is going to be in front of that. Is that too much greenery? Yes, exactly, Mary. That's what I thought. I think that the greenery is too much. So what I was thinking instead of greenery, so Barbara Schwartz, Barb, does not think it's too much. So yes, it's too much. Let me ask a question. Is it too much? Yes or no? Okay. So the greenery is okay for everybody. No. I'm being crazy here. I'm not asking you guys the right questions. I'm going to add color. Gay, I'm with you on that. I think that's what I am going to do. I think seeing the tree and the greenery, it's a little overwhelming, and I've got other pipe cleaners and stuff like that I could use for bordering that. I even have dental molding that I could use. I could actually go ahead and just do this like a real house and finish it out around it, which I may do. Yeah, use one or the other. You're right. Yeah, I think it's overwhelming. It's too much there. So somebody just said something I liked. We've been talking about this mirror, and I think the last time, don't go crazy, you guys did not like this mirror. A lot of people said no to the mirror, so we're not going to, and you said if I did use it, I need to knock that gold down a bit, which I will, but I don't think we're going to put the mirror on the fireplace. What you said about the wreath, I like, so hold please for one moment. So here is a tiny wreath, and this is not the wreath. Calm down. This is just what I'm thinking, like this. So you guys are thinking something like that on the fireplace would be better. Strawberry Girl, a wreath like this. My finger's all over it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so we're absolutely gonna do a wreath of the fireplace. There's some little things that I have somewhere in all this stuff. I've got some little silver tea kettle and things like that, and I'll set some little things onto the mantle that'll be glued into place. Yeah, it's too tropical. You mean this particular wreath is? Yeah, this wreath is not exactly right. What I may end up doing is making a wreath out of this myself. This is one of those I cut this off of an ornament. You've probably seen these 100,000 times. They're on every piece of Christmas decor. That's another thing. A place I get stuff is I buy old ornaments that are, you know, the clearance items actually at Big Lots and stuff like that, and then I cut off all the little pieces that are pretty that I can use. But I think I'm going to make a wreath out of this instead. And this, guys, is ugly looking right now because I'm in really terrible. I'm in 5,000 Kelvin lighting, so it's really lighting this up in an ugly way. And it's really not this. This looks lime green, and it's not that green. It's really a prettier Christmas tree green. All right. Typical. Thank you. You straightened it out, Chipper. Thank you for doing that. That's interesting. A deer head would be interesting. Yes. Yes, garland on the mantle. Those will all happen. Sky Chick, thank you for saying that. Candles on the mantle. You know, that's a good one. The challenge with things like this, if I did flickering candles, is they have to be connected electrically to the 12-volt system. And that poses a problem, especially now. And I haven't seen those, but you have planted a seed for the next one that I do. So we'll be doing something here on this mantle because it required me drilling holes into this and preparing this way in advance before we got to this point. This is already built, so everything I do has to be done in advance. So now that you planted the seed, I love candles. I love the idea. So I think even if we're a little candelabra, but in this one it's more rustic, so we'll probably just do candles. You got you talking crazy. Yes, unlit candles can work too because those are easy to find, and I can even make those. I can make real wax candles actually with, I could just dip some thread into some paraffin and make candles that I could use, which I would like to do actually. I probably will make my own candles because again, I don't want anyone to look at one of my creations and say, hey, I saw that at Michael's a year ago. So if you think you want me to think that's cool, you picked the wrong girl. We don't want that to happen. Hello, Amy. Welcome. Yes, San Antonio, beautiful place. Love it. Down by the river, of course. Yeah. When everyone thinks of San Antonio, we always think of your riverfront. That's it. So anyhow, so this is the backing. So chandelier. Let me put the bulb back in that because it requires that I can't look at comments for a second. And I want to tell you something else. These two products are not working on my foam core for some reason. They are not holding my paper in place. My sealing has already come off. The paper has already released from my foam core, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm really not pleased. I'm going to have to use some different glue on this, but I've already installed it. So, and now it decides I thought it would do this. It's going to release after I install it. So we'll fix it. But let me put a light bulb in there. This light bulb is ever so tiny. This is where my bifocals really have to do their overtime. See that? I'm probably going to have to get tweezers. Dang, that is tiny. Woo! Bear with me a minute. This is a hobby for younger people with better eyes. All right, I'm trying to push it in there. I'm probably going to have to get my tweezers. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, that's what we call bifocals. Yeah. Fabri-Tac glue. Okay, Beverly. I'll remember that next time I'm at the store looking around. All right, let me give this one more try. This is what concentration looks like. All right, hopefully I got it in there lined up. I don't know. I don't know if I did it. Let's see. Let's put some power to it. All right, don't be irritating. Okay, it's working. Houston, San Antonio, we have light. Sunday Live, yes, exactly, Libby. Yeah, I had a little time this afternoon, so I was able to do it. All right, so let me show you. I got to share it, even though my ceiling's falling down. So we've got all the lights on. And we've got ceiling, but it's coming down, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Libby, you know that I'll take an ego snack. I will take one. So if that ego snack was meant for me, I just ate my ego snack. So thank you for saying that. Whatever, I think I read that correctly. So yeah, I think this is looking really good. Let me see, because this is already installed, I'm just annoyed. I'm looking at my glue. Hang on. This stuff, I like this stuff for putting on glitter, but it just does not dry fast enough for my, especially for this. I've got to get this thing to dry quickly. I've got some tacky glue. I've got some quick hold. I think I'm going to use some quick hold because I'm desperate and I'm on a live right now. All right, I'm just going to put some quick hold in here. Oh, the whole thing came off. I'm so upset. Dang. Lay down. All right. You know, I was working on this earlier and it started to come loose. And I said, you know, as soon as you attach this with the glue gun, the whole paper is going to come off. And then you're going to be in here working inside this cabinet. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know what S-Town is. Ugh, that glue is gross. It smells so terrible. But it's, guess what it is doing is holding. Mary, thank you very much. God, I love you guys for that. These people step in and moderate. Thank you. Roger, can't answer you now. So the S-Town podcast, Alyssa, I have not heard that. Okay, I will. Thank you, Tim. Okay, yes. The thing with me, and I'll tell you, and then you're not, I know you're not saying that I'm a clock prepare person. You're just saying this person does that. Henry, there you are. Henry, I'm glad you showed up because your idea, all of your ideas, Henry, seem to somehow, I don't acknowledge them here in the live, but somehow they're like seeds and they get planted. So here's what I did. Here the chandelier is installed. I took your advice on the ceiling and I did a paper that looks sort of like a tin type ceiling. So you can see that it's a scrapbook paper. So it's better than the black that I was going to use. I appreciate that. And guys, Henry is the reason why I went ahead and took a gold pen and did the designs back on the front of the clock case because those were gone. So back to what I was saying about fixing clocks. These clock cases, I see them out and the clock guts are long gone. Somebody pulled it all out and it's just this empty case. And that's what this was. It was forlorn. It was $30. It was just a shell, just open on the bottom, open in the back. And I just loved it, and it had no hardware, and we've kind of fixed it up on here. I've done the whole process here live, so you've seen it. Henry, I think you just joined. Because you lit up my life, Henry, I'm going to light up yours. Here we go. You got to see this. There it is. So it's coming along, and it's looking really good with the back on it. I'm going to put the back on. And really, really great ideas, guys. I appreciate that. The wreath, I'm going to make a wreath for the fireplace, which I think is going to look great. Do some candles. There's the ceiling that's in there. I'm going to do some molding for the window. Look how the light's coming through the window on the floor. That's just really awesome. Our walls we put in last time on the sides, and then the wall sconces here on this side. So looking really good. It's really coming together. Okay, Gay, thank you for suggesting. I see we've got about 58 people. That is the least number of people I've ever had in a live. Thank you for being here, you 58 folks. Some of you may not know who I am. There's Margie in South Carolina. I've got a Melissa in SC as well. So Margie and a Melissa. Margie, welcome. Yes, so these are the cloches that I built before. This is typically what I do for Christmas, and I've done these since 2009. I usually build one for the year. This is, actually, this one is 2023, and this one I built for you guys. That's why this one's here. This was 2022, and I didn't like it, so I tore it down and rebuilt it. So, would anyone like for me to bring one of those closer to the camera so you can see them? Because we've already done that before. Margie, yes, Margie, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, please, nerds. Okay. You never get tired of seeing these things up close. You guys never do. Okay, let me scoot this forward. What I'm going to do, I'm using this is a 12-volt transformer connection, which is for all of my creations have the same power. So we're going to use this because I'm going to unplug and bring it forward. Let's bring this one forward first. I'm going to take the top off of it, the glass, so it doesn't reflect. So you guys can see it up close. Hopefully I can get it up there. So yes, that chandelier, I've said this before in so many lives, but the chandelier was made by 2 artists in Illinois, handmade. It is actual crystal. It is lead crystal with metal, and it has tiny incandescent light bulbs that are to scale, as you can see, and those are easy to replace. But yeah, the chandelier, I'm giving you full disclosure here, fully transparent. The chandelier, $300. So that cost to me as much as a piece of lighting you could buy for your house. I bought it because I thought it was gorgeous. I wanted to support their art, and I wanted it in here with these people. And these are little spun cotton ornaments from the 1960s. Thank you, Chipper, for your opinion. But you are absolutely correct. It is expensive, but I've never done it. And you've got to agree, that chandelier is spectacular. It's beautiful. So anyhow, and those guys do that. And this is what they do. That's their art. So I'm supporting their art. People have supported my art. As I've told you so many times, about 3,500 pieces of art around the world that I've built, and people support me, so I support them. So there's the little spun cotton ornaments. Those were angels. I turned them into little creatures or whatever, little people wrapping gifts. You can see the one with the green on is wrapping a gift. There's her toppers for her work. She's wrapping that gift. This one's gleefully carrying a gift over to the corner to set it down. In the back here, that angel was playing a violin as an angel. She no longer has wings or a halo, but she's still playing the violin. And the band leader in the back is now using her band stick, whatever that thing is called, and she is tending to the fire. So that's what this is. All 12 volts. It's supposed to be Christmas Eve, under glass. Here's the outside, little snowman peeking in. He's a peeping snowman. Hand built the little lamp there that lights up outside. And then around on this side is another window that you can peek in. I love to use the windows, and I use the larger windows because it allows you a place, us, you and me, to peek into the building or into the room and see it as if we're outside in the snow and we're peeking in at this wonderful time that they're having. I have sold my other creations, my other art, it's steampunk art. I've sold that, and a lot of them, many have been sold. But these, I don't think I've ever sold one. I've only given 1 or 2 out as gifts, but I've never sold one. I didn't think these were sellable. I didn't think this was a marketable piece. It also requires shipping of something delicate that could break. But this is crafty, and somebody on here, and I forget who it was, sent me an email and about crafts and was very clear in stating that they didn't think that my stuff was crafty. But I'm a little bit leery of crafts, and this falls kind of in that little gray area, being a little bit crafty. Thank you, Strawberry. I'm glad you think so. Yes, this stuff is my inner child. So if you say your grandchildren will love it, that's the inner child in me. This is the kind of stuff as a kid that I loved. I did a video here on TikTok about my parents taking me in the 1970s and the early 70s when indoor shopping malls were brand new, and we went to a mall and they had a miniatures exhibition in the mall center court, and I was like 6 or 7 years old, and there were doll houses, and I wanted one, not the dollhouse. I wanted the house with the lights in it. I wanted to wire it. I just could not get enough of looking at little light fixtures and lamps on tables that lit up. I mean, anything that would light up, I was all up in that stuff. I just loved it. And that's where I got the bug. And so that bug became model trains. That's what all I had. All I wanted. Trains and building buildings with lights in it. And I did that into my 30s. I had all that. I don't do that anymore, but it's kind of morphed into this. So miniatures are my thing. I go off on tangents, guys. Yes, that Dorothy, that's kind of the idea. Yes, and I guess it's true, Chipper. Does that sign say yes? I'm looking around. I don't know. Yes, I am. I already did that, Henry, but I know you're late, but let's do that. I'll show you right now. I'm going to leave this here for 1 second. This is the little bisque little girl I got yesterday. And I told you serendipity is this what this is all about. This little girl is going in the clock cabinet and it's all about her. Thank you. I call you nerds. Nerds and bones. So that's her. She is adorable. Look at her. It's the way she looks. Now, Henry, hang in there. This is a mock-up I did. I did a mock-up. I made a little gift. I did this last night. I was exhausted, and I still came down here, and I had to do this gift. So I wrapped this with washi tape as fast as I could. There's an earring on top. I should just glue that friggin' earring on there. So this is what she's going to be doing. See how she's looking at the little gift? So she's going to be standing there looking at her gift. And it more than likely won't be this blue one. I just used the blue because it was the cheapest thing. I mean, the closest thing. Did they? Strawberry? Oh, good. I'm glad you thought so. I've got a friend who lives in this three-dimensional world with me, who house was based on a manor house, I think, in France. The people who built the house that they bought it from went to France. They loved to go to France, and so when they finally built their house, their dream house, they made it look like a manor house or a chateau in France. So it's kind of built that way. And these guys bought this house and live in it, and they're chandelier crazies. And there is some spectacular Waterford and other crystal manufacturers. I don't know. I'm not into all that as much, but they love it. And so this whole thing was born because I gave that friend of mine one of these last year. He gave it back to me and said, put a crystal chandelier in it. He's the one who found this crystal chandelier, and I put it in there for him. And it just was so spectacular that it made me up my game. So that's where this whole chandelier thing came from. So I had to build one for myself. Because once I saw what happened to the cloche I built in 2000, I think it was 21, what it did to that one, I said, well, I got to upgrade my game as well. So that's what this is. That's a result of that. I have not seen it. I should do that the next time I'm there. Next time I'm in Phoenix. So anyway, this is the little girl who she's found her place here. So I'm going to put her back down because we've covered that. So everyone's seen this. We've all seen this particular one. So I'm going to, and this, by the way, this metal part is a cake stand that you can get off Amazon. There's a puppy in that tiny box. Are you talking about on here? There's a cat in there somewhere. There was a kitten standing there, but I took the kitten out. There's a cat by the fireplace. You can see that. That cat came from, that's resin. So that cat is new. I don't know. I don't know what color the gift is going to be. Again, it hasn't completely spoken to me. The blue, when I open my box, look at this. This is my box of washi tape. So this is washi tape. And you can buy this stuff on clearance. Some of this is washi knockoff. It's not exactly washi. But the thing I love about washi is it comes in these beautiful foils like this. And these just stick right onto a wooden block. So all of my gifts... Yeah, let's see here. My gifts are made out of these little wooden blocks. You can buy these at Michael's. And I just cover them with washi tape like this in different colors. And I cut apart junky jewelry. No offense. Christmas jewelry, stuff that you'd wear to a Christmas party or costumey type stuff. Walmart puts it on sale like nobody's business right after Christmas. So I buy that and cut it apart to use as toppers. But that's how I make the gifts, out of washi tape. So that's what this stuff is. Yeah. So I recommend, if you want to make yourself some cute little gifts, here's some, see, wood pile. They're just little wood blocks. So make your gifts. Yes, I live with someone who is a gift wrapping cray-cray and has wrapped gifts. Let me show you, out of paper. Hang on. So I'm going to take this one down. I'm going to put it back, and I'm going to take the other one up here. So this one is the one I built because of you guys. Especially the people in the live. This is the newest one. So this one's a little bit different. A little bit different chandelier. I I apologize to anyone who's had to see this 2 or 3 times, but there's a lot of people here probably have not seen it. This is the outside. This is all under glass. This is all foam core and paper, all built out of, by hand, out of my brain. Some of that stuff is jewelry. Some of that stuff's been sent to me by people right here on TikTok that send me costume jewelry and stuff like that. There's a lady, I don't know if Yvonne is on this call today, but Yvonne, you sent me the earrings, and that's one of your earrings back there dangling above the wall sconce. That's the dangling earring sent by Yvonne, I think, who sent that. So if I'm getting that wrong, please forgive me. Anywho, this gift right here, this red one right here, that's real wrapping paper. So that is from the gift wrap tube. Because like I said, I live with someone who is gift wrap crazy. There's 2 or 3 in there that are actual gift wrap. But most of those are washi tape. And you can see the jewelry cut apart on there. I'm going to turn on this ugly light because this might help to see it better. I don't know if that helped. It helped a little bit, yeah. So now you can really see it. It's ugly light, but you can see what's in there. Tootsie Toy chair right here, right there. Metal chair, that's vintage. That's a resin kitty cat. This is glass. The wall sconce up here is glass. The chandelier is brass and glass. The Christmas tree is a, as you can see, a bottle brush tree, bobbling bottle brush. A scrapbook paper floor. You can see where the angel's wings once were. See the slit in the back? That's where the angel's wings were. I just took those off. Those are spun cotton little figures. That's a wooden ornament in the back. Both the Santa Claus playing the piano and the piano itself are both wooden ornaments from the 1980s. And I just kind of put them together like that. There's a mirror over the fireplace and the decoration. The curtains came off of Amazon. So that's it. Kind of how it all goes together. Yeah. Yeah, the little lamp is, I think that the little lamp came off Amazon. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. I'm going to turn this ugly light off again. Can't stand that thing. All right. So that's it. So you guys came, you saw. I know, the little guy playing the piano is a Santa Claus wooden ornament that had no legs. It somehow, I'm going to say it again. I don't understand the magic of this stuff. I do it, and I don't know why there's a flow to it. I don't know why would the universe give a hoot about making something like this, but somehow there's magic. That little wooden ornament, that Santa Claus that you see at the piano, somehow it was on the 3rd floor of this house. It was in the media room with the other Christmas stuff, and it found it somehow. I don't know if I brought it down here. I don't know who did. It ended up on this table in my stuff, and it was broken, and I may have just mindlessly put it down here, but I was fiddling with that piano ornament, and I just set the Santa Claus in front of it, and because the Santa Claus had no legs, he looks like he's playing the piano. You can't see it now, but his little arms are like sticking out straight. It was ugly, but look at it. It looks like he's banging out a tune, and the angel with her flute. She's standing there playing the flute. I don't know what kind of ragtime they're playing, but they're getting busy, and they're doing their gift wrapping. Yeah, and look at the little box with the wrapping paper in it. I don't know if you can see that. Right there is a little box I made and just took some washi tape and rolled it around some toothpicks and made it look like rolls of wrapping paper that she was using. Yes, this is a fantastic way to save those old wooden ornaments these old spun cotton ornaments from the 60s, because they were usually gift toppers and things like that. They were ephemeral. They were here and gone. They were put in the garbage. But here they are in something under glass. And I'm pretty sure, unless a tornado blows this house away, that this will go on to live a life somewhere else in someone else's home at some point after Artful Roger has started taking his dirt nap. So anyway, here we go. You guys are good with this stuff? I'm going to set this thing back to the back. All right, and return to the creation we're working on, which is starting to look really good. Really coming together. There's a little bit of work still to do inside here. I don't know if I've shown it from this side, but You can see this stuff back here, these lines, you can see the line right there. I'm not going to worry probably about that because you can't see it, because you're going to be looking at this from here, from the front, and you're not going to see any of this stuff in there. And a lot of that stuff's going to be hidden as well by other stuff, but it's really coming together nicely. And the wiring, that looks like a hot mess, but this is all going to be cleaned up and pushed in. It'll have another cover under here that you won't see any of the wiring. Everything will be inside, and you'll be doing your connection. This is your connection for your electrical, and this is your micro switch for turning the lights off and on. And the chandelier has a little swing to it, so it won't break. Yeah, this will be really magical once the front is on it. Once we have this in place, you can see what's going to happen. It's just you put glass on something, like I said in the last slide, you put glass on it and it becomes, the glass turns it into another world. You're like peeking into a world, yeah. Chipper, you just had a birthday. Sorry I missed it. Hint, hint, right? I see that. Guys, thank you for your tap Olympics you're doing by sending those hearts up and driving this out a little bit, making it popular. Yes, broken pieces of ornaments do not get thrown away at this house. They absolutely do not, no matter what. On the snowman you saw, the peeping snowman that I showed you earlier, that's an ornament that was broken that I turned into a snowman, so you can do stuff like that. I have this entire space down here is full of things that I probably could build other stuff out of, and I sometimes do. And I know exactly where it is in my mind when I need it. I'm like, oh yeah, that little thingy, and I'll go some drawer somewhere and open it, and there it'll be. That's how it works. This is right here. Here's a great example of pieces of ornaments. This is just stuff. It looks a hot mess right now because I'm digging in it for this project, but this right here is that stuff. Chipper, I may be, I have to tell you, please forgive me, because there's so many people that contact me here on TikTok, and I cannot keep it straight. Chipper, did you send me these? Did you send this jewelry to me? Is this from you? Is there anyone in this live that recognizes this jewelry? Chipper, this is from you. Chipper, forgive me for attributing your sending me jewelry to someone else. Please forgive me for that. I cannot keep straight. So this, Chipper, you sent me this, right? I think this is from you. So this is from Chipper, yes. So Chipper, your stuff, those are your earrings in they probably weren't yours. You sent me the Sarah Coventry jewelry from the 70s. Yeah, your earring is in that cloche, and the other one you sent me, there it is right there on the fireplace. So yes, absolutely use your stuff. Yeah, this stuff, the thing about little things like that, they just kind of, suddenly they just show up on the table in the right time. And so this I kind of doctored up a little bit, but it's here. Yeah, and your earring is, I'm going to use the phone. Yeah, your earring is right above the wall sconce in the back. Although I'm sure you didn't wear that earring. You made it? Well, there it is. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yes. So there it is. So I will not be forgetting who sent me jewelry. I will not be forgetting again. Yes. I'm looking at your comments. So thank you for sending those things to me. Yeah, and guys, if you are curious or have something that you would like to see maybe work into a cloche piece that I'm building here or whatever, just send me an email to the address that's in my profile, and then I will, we can communicate that way, and I'll send you a mailing address. It's not my home address, just so you know. Love you guys, but we're in a 2D world here. And there's a lot of people out there. Thank you, Husker. I'm glad you commented. So I haven't seen your name before, so you're new to the Artful Roger live situation here. Yeah, what time does a football game start? Is there a football game? Is this Super Bowl Sunday? If it is, I have to be here for my followers. Okay, yeah. Well, guess what you now know? Artful Roger doesn't care. Yeah, I'm not, that is not my thing. Yeah, playoffs, okay. Thanks, Henry. Yeah, that's just not my thing. Yeah, the TV is upstairs. The TV only gets turned on in the evenings. It's way upstairs. It's not in the main part of the house either. There's no TVs. There's a TV right here in a cabinet that never gets opened. I actually, sometimes when I'm working, I'll put somebody's stand-up show on so I'll have something to laugh about while I'm working. You want to see more of my creations, please. Christine, are you new? Are you new to Artful Roger? Which is me. So Christine, I'm asking you a question. You're new. Okay. I'm going to show you something. It's one of my creations. Let me put this again to the front because this is all about, right now, it's about you guys. If you're going to watch football, bye-bye. Yeah, because my followers go all the way down. Yes to nothing. Hang on. Let me grab this. And I think if you've been on here, you've been following me along, you know this is, you've seen this one 100 times. This one took, I would say all in, this took about 11 years to finish. The clock cabinet found me 10 years ago. Now it's been over 10 years ago when the clock cabinet found it. It was just an empty shell, another empty shell. And I told you that's what happens. I see these little spaces and you look inside there and it had no bottom on it. It has a door on the back. See, it's got the door. And I've put the engraving on there with assemblage piece and my name and all that on there. But, and the door I don't think opens. No, I think I glued it shut. Or did I? Oh, there it is. That's all that's there now. So, but the little dancers dance. So let's see if I can, let me wind it up. So to answer questions about it, this one, I had the clock cabinet for 10 years. One night, I had a dream. In the dream, I had put these little, there were little dancers. There was a ballerina dancer, or you know, there was only one lady dancing, not, was it 11 ladies dancing or 7 lords of leaping? I don't know what it is, but there was one. But when I started looking at music boxes, I saw that there were dancers, couples, and they're like $300. I got on eBay, started looking around, and somebody had one that was a carnival giveaway toy, is what it looked like, and it had a plastic dome on it, and the dome was yellowed and cracked, but it was like, I think starting bid $9.99. So I put it on my watch list and started watching it. You can see I won the bid. So the clock, the case it was in is gone, but I was able to work with it enough that I could get it inside here. So you can see in there they are, and I'm going to turn on the, let me release the hounds. So there they are dancing. So we've got a chandelier in there. We've got, you can turn the chandelier off and on. You can turn off the ambient lighting. And anyway, so go back to that. And they're in there doing their thing. I like to think of this as a New Year's Eve dance. And so I decorated it like it was a New Year's Eve dance. And you can at night in a darkened room turn off the ambient light and just have the little pendant light above them, which is LED. And it's absolutely charming. There is a music box attached to it as well, but the music box is separate. So I'm not going to bother trying to turn that on. But this one, like I said, this one took a long time to build. I don't think it'll ever sell. I mean, I don't think I'll ever sell it because it's so... Let me see if, I don't want the dancers to slip out, so I'm going to show you on the bottom how I had to do it. This right here is a music box I installed. And this right here is the wind-up mechanism for the dancers, is up inside here. So I had to put 2 mechanisms on there because there was no way to get it to work with what I have. I'm an upcycle artist, so I work with what I've got. I rarely manufacture things or have things made. I try to use things that find me, like old pieces and parts. And serendipity. The old pieces and parts come together and they find themselves, and that's what happened here. So this is one of my creations. This one I rarely show because it's always upstairs in the media room and I forget to have it down here. So I brought it down for the last live so I could show it to you guys up close. But there are some videos of it on my YouTube. I'm sorry, on my TikTok page. It absolutely does. It surely does. Yes, that is a mirror, and the mirror is at a. I did the mirror at an angle so that it would. You see, it looks like there's three dancers, three couples in there. It's just to triple the fun. Yeah, Linda, a lot of people love this one. This one's super magical. I did it with a. I just posted a video, I think last week. Edna St. Vincent Millay. I did I just read one of her poems that I've always liked, and I did it to a piece of video I had. Again, that was a serendipitous moment when it all came together perfectly. I'm going to set this thing down. Hang on one second. That piece I just showed you is more, it's more in line with what I've done in the past and what I was doing on Etsy. I operated, you guys have all heard this before, but this was my artist name. Ben Cliff was my art name, Ben Cliff Designs, and all of my stuff is signed, of course, Ben Cliff. I did several thousand pieces of art, illuminated art that's around the world. So I did that I sold on Etsy before Etsy went public, and it became a marketplace for manufacturers and not handmade as much. It just Etsy became very difficult to work with after they went public. But that's where I sold, and that's how I got exposed to TV and movies and different things. So yeah, I had a really good run, and then it just wasn't running anymore. And so I just kind of went back to corporate, So I'm in a corporate job now, and I do my art stuff part-time. And yes, I miss old Etsy too. If you're a maker and you used Etsy before, they were so wonderful. It was just like a community. It was so awesome when you did you just had a lot of interaction with artists. It just was really a great time. And I think I got into it right at the very right moment. And then they went public, and that was the end of it. Then it became so expensive to market, you're competing with Chinese manufacturers that would flood a part like jewelry makers. I don't know how they do it. I don't even know how jewelry makers could be on that platform to sell because they're so flooded with manufactured stuff. Yeah, outside in the garden will happen at some point. Yes, gardening is going to happen in March. So prepare yourself, hang in there. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit with it, but the garden right now, it's been raining like it's a mush out. It's a mushy and wet, and there's leaves everywhere and yucky. So more creations. Yeah, I've got creations down here. Yeah, my old house had a full garden chipper. It was a fenced-in garden, and it was all pathways and koi ponds and everything. And I had all my lighting in that garden was handmade. I made everything in it. I left it all there. I didn't want to bring it here. I'm looking for my new garden. I built one a little bit here, but not to the degree I would normally build. But yeah, that one had a lot of stuff made that I made for the garden. You have plastic cameos. Christine, send me an email. Anybody who is thinking about maybe sending something, just send me an email and shoot me some photos of it. I would hate for you guys to go to the expense of mailing something to me or shipping it, and then I don't use it because it's not something I can use. But it's nothing personal. I'm just going to save you the time of sending it. Because people have sent me stuff. People have reached out and sent me different things. So I have multiple things that have arrived here to my UPS address. So anyway, do that. So you want to see another creation. So I think the one that I might show you right now is the one that I did after I watched The Last of Us on Netflix. I think The Last of Us is on Netflix, I think. Anyway, the series it's an end of the world type of thing where I forget the actor's name. I think he's from South America, from Colombia or something. But he and this young girl end up being the last ones alive, and it's not a zombie movie, but it's kind of like the world has ended and they're surviving it and they're trying to find their way. And as I think they got to what appeared to be Salt Lake City. That's where they ended up at one part of it. And in watching that show, I became, no, not Julia Roberts, if that's what you're talking about on this show. Yeah, thank you. Yvonne, there you are. Yes, Yvonne was the one I was attributing the jewelry to, and it wasn't her at all. And I apologize to Yvonne and to Chipper for that. So, yes, Pedro Pascal. Yes, so as I was watching that, I really got enamored with the set design and CGI, I'm sure. So I had this clock cabinet. I'm going to show it to you again. Hey, Yvonne, I'm going to bring it over. Those of you who have been in these lives all along with me, I'm about to show another piece that you have already seen. Forgive me for that. We're kind of at a place I put in the chandelier. Let me get that piece. All right, so I'm back. So again, this is a clock cabinet that I found at an antique market. It was a shell, no clock was in it. This face was not the original face, but it was there. But what I did to the face is, you can see how I cut the face, and then let me see if I can get the glass open here. I should be looking at it, and there it is. See how I cut the face? So I cut it, I twisted it back, the idea, and I made it look like it was burned. And yes, he was. Pedro is a hot property right now. Everybody loves Pedro. It seems like they do. I've seen some TikToks about him, so he's pretty popular. He's just kind of a normal guy. He just is like this, and he's just just seems like such a nice person. I really like him. So anyway, so the idea here was for it to look like it exploded outward, this direction, okay? That was the idea. Now let me plug in the power. Again, the port is on the back right here. Plug it in. The switch is on the front right here. Let me make sure it's on. Yeah, this one is, all these freaking lights are so bright. But if you look inside, you can see it looks like that set. And look, there's that tiny clock. It's another clock. Hang on. I got wires everywhere. I get this thing down. But there's a clock that looks like this clock that also has an exploded face with a fire inside of it. And you see the old buildings in there. Folks here on TikTok, help me with the lighting. You've got, looks like a shorted out light in that window there with the old stairs. So it's really made to look like the ruins of the world we once knew. Look, and there's old trees and an old pallet. So this is like, Little B, what are you asking me? Now's your chance. I'm looking. Thank you, Strawberry Girl. So I love the idea of it being the Russian doll effect. Yes, indeed. I found the clock cabinet, the wooden cabinet here that we're working on, that came from an antique mall. But the little clock inside is a 1950s dollhouse clock, a little girl's toy. And I say little girl, a little boy can play with that too. I shouldn't have said that. But that is a plastic clock. And it just so happened that the little clock was hollow and the face was paper, so I could cut it and get an LED inside to look like that. So it could match my big clock. So the idea is you're seeing this clock just landed in the scene. So it's really something in your brain. It's really what I wanted people to have an experience with. So they're all LEDs. They're 4mm and 7mm LED diodes that look like this. That's what I work with. They're 9 to 12 volts. And so my stuff is all 12 volt systems with an external transformer. Plugs in the back. And you guys help me out. It's too bad we can't see this thing in the dark, because, and if you want to see it, go back into my video history on TikTok and you'll see I did a video on it, because I asked for input. I asked for input from, it is an antique store find. Yeah, you got to tell people, I'm trying to watch this live. Stop with the football. So anywho, I asked for input. Go back and look at my history where I asked for input, because first it looked like Sesame Street, because people said that. This looks like the set of Sesame Street. And that's how it started, because you can see how it is in there, you know. It looked very plasticky. And so we worked on that. And I did weathering, and I did some work to it. I made it look rougher and older. And then some people said, oh, it's too this or too that in the lighting. So I actually used theatrical gel, pieces of gel that I cut down with scissors and gelled over my LEDs to make them more blue or more green. So I really got an intense color. And I also was able to eliminate that awful LED blue color, which I don't like LED blue. I like it to be a little more toned down. So I was able to use gels to do that. Yes. I think Little B is asking what you found at the antique store to use in your current project. Oh, this, Little B, this thing. Thank you, Mary. If you're talking about this, yeah, this is what I found yesterday. This is going in the current project. So yeah, this little bisque German toy found its way into my hands. And she is going to have a wonderful little life standing, staring at a Christmas gift for however long the super glue holds her in place. Hopefully for years. Hopefully she stays there for years. I just think this thing is super cute. And she actually has a pretty decent face. If you looked at her right in the eyes, you probably can't see it, but you can see she's got very dotted pupils. Let's see if you can't, she's going out of focus. But you can see her eyes, yeah. But she's got a cute little pose. Yeah, it's just cute. You gotta love a German girl. You absolutely do. We're gonna call her Svenja. This is her name. Little Svenja. Yeah. So yeah, super cute. So she'll be in there soon and you guys will see that. I think in the next live when I come on, I'm gonna be wrapping washi tape blocks and making gifts with the jewelry. So we'll be putting together some gifts as I do a live. It kind of makes sense because we're kind of at the point now with this clock cabinet that we're working on where it's going to be starting doing some fine tuning, and a lot of the work I'll do I'll do it outside of this live. I won't be doing it with you guys watching because it's really difficult for me to stand here and do this and not interact, because then you're asking the same question 100 times because he won't see it. He's not looking. Yeah, Scully, look back through my posts and see, in my history, you'll see my art pieces pop up here and there. I haven't done a lot of my art pieces on TikTok. They're sometimes difficult to film, and there's other pieces we'll talk about on a different live for sure. And I'm looking at comments right now. Yes, we can, Antwerp. Antwerp, yes. I'm going to take The Last of Us creation away. I'll be right back. Here's another. I just saw this sitting there, so I'll show this to you. This is a vintage percolator from the 1950s, and it is plugged. It has this cup hanging here. This is stainless steel with a light in it. This lights up, and this lights up, and it's coffee pouring into the cup, which is suspended, as you can see. Let me set that down. There it is. This is called rocket fuel. So there's rocket fuel. This is just there for looks, but the wire just runs through this, so I have the whole look. So it's the entire percolator, and the light bulb is here. So I put one of those Christmas tree reflectors in there too. So everything is upcycled, every little thing. The only thing new here is the wiring. So the wiring and switches are all brand new, but the percolator's vintage. Well, this is new too, this stainless, because I wanted a stainless look. So I could not find a vintage stainless cup. So that too. This is an old marble lamp base I found in South Carolina in Ridge Spring at a junk store. It was like $3, and it was just this piece of marble. And it's super heavy on the bottom, so it looks a little bit top heavy. I've never done one like this before, by the way. Mine are always built onto old coffee cans, and I have another one of those we'll show in a different live because it's plugged in at my other desk. But this one looks a little top heavy, but this is super heavy marble, so it's not gonna flop over. It's just really awesome. And it's got I used the old vintage cord here as well with the vintage plug, so you really get this great look. Rocket fuel was the original design. This is what I originally did in 2005. It was a sensation, for lack of a better word, because when it ended up getting sold instantly. And so I've made a bunch of these over the years. A lot of these percolators, this is the one I've settled on. I've made them out of all kinds of perks. If you go to Google and you put in this, Ben Cliff Designs, there's one right there, and see it on that's me, like I said, about 10 years ago. There's some creations that I was doing back then, but if you put Ben Cliff Designs into Google and you click on images, you'll probably see a bunch of stuff. And yeah, I think my Etsy shop is shut down, so I don't think you can see my history in there anymore, but you'll see some of the designs. You'll more than likely see rocket fuel because so many of them were sold, yeah, during the time I was online. These got a lot of attention. Typically, of all the pieces I sell, this one sells the best and finds into people's homes. And just like I've always done and how I do with you guys, I take input from people. I listen to what you say. I ask and I do listen. And people help me. This one is super tall, but a lot of them I made very short, less than about 16 inches high, because people wanted to put them on their kitchen counter under their cabinet. So I started designing like that. And when I did design them smaller, I sold a lot more of them, because that's where they were going on kitchen counters by coffee pots, or people's coffee stations and stuff like that. So this one is super tall. This one was it was for sale here locally in Atlanta for about a year, and I just took all my stuff out because Bencliffe Designs was dissolved. The LLC was dissolved at the end of 2023, so it is no more. Artful Roger has taken its place, but this one did not sell. No one bought it. I was really surprised, and it could be because it's so tall, and that's probably why I still have it. So it is here, and it needs a home. So just so you know. So what else was I doing? You want to see the project? Antwerp Ask, he or she probably already left the building, has left the room. Let me set this down. This is the project we're working on now. Oh, Donna, I would turn it on, but it's 110, and I cannot. This is a mess up here, and the only thing I have right now is my 12-volt hookup, so that's what we're working on. So yeah, I'll show it to you guys. If you join me on another live, I do lives every Tuesday and Thursday nights. They're scheduled. They're at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you join my live, it's all about you guys when I'm doing those lives at the desk, because I can look at comments the entire time I'm on my laptop. So ask me about it, and I'll pull it straight over and show it to you. George's owner has been dubbed the hot Mr. Rogers. Oh, boy. The game's starting. Groovy, see you later. I'm glad you joined. So if the game is starting, maybe I need to shut my mouth now, too, and let you guys go, watch them throw the old pigskin, as they say. See? I can use the lingo. Guys, Antwerp, if you're still around, this is what I'm working on. This is it. I'm going to put the back on it one more time. Guys, I appreciate you joining me. And there it is. So that's where we're going. And we'll be working on this again. Guys, thank you for joining the live. And saying that the ball game is starting, I know that is a religion for many people. It's not a religion around here. I don't care. But I'm so glad you guys joined. So I hope you have a fabulous rest of the Sunday. Thanks for this quick jump in. Yeah, Antwerp, thank you. I finally was able to show it to you. But prepare yourself. We've only just begun. So join the lives. We will be doing the art lives on one of the Tuesdays or Thursdays. I'm not sure. I might be back at the desk. Henry, you said you liked football. What are you talking about? You will see me on the next Chipper. Guys, take care of yourselves, and I will see you Tuesday night for sure, okay? Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Take care.